John Bauer and Concordia Corporation own the bowling center. Jim Lyles is the general manager here, who does one heck of a job. He's a superb person.
Game 2, Doug Thomas, 22-year-old computer consultant from Cincinnati, Ohio. An interesting story about this match. Doug Thomas's first ball in Game 2.
The power that we talked about before in the beginning of the show is very evident on that shot, Tom. The accuracy goes to Forwood. The revs, the power, go to Thomas.
Dave Forwood, a winner in the first match against the history-making Regina Pollard, 244 to 154. Forwood's first ball in Game 2. Didn't get the break.
Well, he's starting to run him out here, Tom. I think the first frame is probably a little premature to go running a shot out, but nevertheless driving through a little too sharply and leaving the 9-pin. Relatively easy spare. For those of you at home that happen to leave this spare, all you do is move your feet 2 boards, assuming you're right-handed, 2 boards to the left, hit your same strike target, and you'll cover it with authority. Not only that, you'll knock it down. Much like that.
Much like that. Follow your words of wisdom. Now, just to set this match up a little more, Dave Forwood, 41 years old, against his younger opponent, 22-year-old Doug Thomas. You talk about lightning striking twice. 5 years ago, 1981 in March, Doug Thomas became the youngest bowler to make the TV King. He was at the time 16. His opponent for that day.
Tell me, who was it?
David Forwood. This would be interesting.
Yes, another interesting story.
That's right. I feel like Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Dave Forwood leaving the 10-pin. Week 10, the ball deflecting a little bit too much there, but he is lined up. He's hit the pocket both shots. He's got to fine-tune these. And then I think we'll see a striking contest the rest of this match. Doug Thomas looks good, looks strong. Let's see what he can do.
Well, on both occasions, he did exactly what Dave Murath said. On both occasions, he picked up the spare.
1-pin spares should be routine. For a 190 and over bowler, to miss a 1-pin spare is just to either 1, stick, or 2, have a complete mental lapse. There is really no excuse to miss a 1-pin spare. Oh, I'll tell you what, he got robbed.
He did.
You ever hear that expression, you got robbed? Let's take a look at it here on the replay, Tommy, and I'll show you what. Everybody at home, keep your eyes on the center pin, the head pin. It's going to go to the left of your screen, come off the wall. Right now, watch it right there. Come off the wall. Now it's going to intersect the 5-pin, which is headed right for the 7. You see it? Cross body block, right into the 5. Get out of here, not today.
So, we will not, even though...
was that Munoz throwing that block?
It looks like him. Even though Doug Thomas' brother is a full-time professional bass fisherman, he will not be able to bring home a boat for that 300 game today. 300 game, of course, this year.
Jimmers Marine?
Jimmers Marine.
We really want to give that away, Bo. Can't we work something out? I mean, if nobody throws a big game and maybe, we don't get a high enough game, can we maybe give it to the announcers?
No.
I was waiting for him to work it out.
We do have the high game on TV covered, though.
I know.
The 7-Up people have donated a nice television set, and Daryl Higgins right now is leading with a 269. So the gentleman here, 269. So they're shooting after the game today.
Now, people say 269. What are the averages? Well, we've been averaging pretty well this year.
We sure have. We're at a 214 pace for 24 games. We've been averaging 214.
Not too dusty. There we go. I know I'm wearing that one out.
There we go. A light shaker into the wall. David Forwood, 1 pin in the hole right now. To Doug, 39 to 40 in the second. Both players working on a strike in the third.
Of course, we are coming your way through Channel 5 and advertised by the Hudepohl King of Bowling. Some people, our gracious sponsors, are here today.
That's correct.
En masse.
That's right. They certainly are. They have been supporting the show every week. And Bob Casey, Andy Donnelly, and Phil Black, who is with the Claremont distributor for Hudepohl, is here.
Throws the pressure right back on Doug Thomas. Doubling there was a very critical shot. He was very close the first and second frame. Like I said, a little fine-tuning. He'll be right there. Bingo. Double. 2 in a row. Doug Thomas, the hammer's on him now.
With a bowling average of 210, a 300 game to his credit. This man started right here in Kingpin Lanes 6 years ago.
Now, it's hard to believe that going light means he pulled the ball, but in this particular case, that's exactly what happened. Remember, we talked about the heavier concentration of oil in the center of the lane earlier. Just a typical part of lane conditioning all around. Unfortunately, he got the ball in, he dumped, and when you get the ball in, 9 times out of 10, your thumb goes into the floor, you spin the ball rather than roll it, therefore it did not grab. Leaving the 4-8. Look out.
Oops. He hit the crown of the oil.
That's right. Missed that by a mile.
Oh boy, and he knows it too.
Not a good time to do it.
I think we're seeing a pattern developing, at least for David Forwood. Forwood seems to be on top of his game today and seems to be getting the breaks he needs in game 1 from Regina Pollard. And depending on how Doug Thomas responds from that frame, it could be a gift from Mr. Thomas.
You're right. You better throw this one. Well, that's about what you want to see him do. Come back from a really horrible shot to a replay.
Okay, we're halfway through game 2 of the Doug Thomas-David Forwood match. When we come back, the completion, and then the king for week 5 here on Hudepohl's King of TV Bowling.
Cincinnati has always had a reputation for brewing great beers, and part of this continuing tradition is Hude Gold. Brewed by Hudepohl, America's great small brewery, Hude Gold is a pure, natural, traditional beer made to the high standards that Cincinnati beer drinkers have demanded for decades. A special gold standard set by Cincinnati for Cincinnati. Try the best quality beer in its class, and remember, nothing is as good as gold. Hude Gold.
Nothing but diamonds, diamonds by the ounce. Nothing but diamonds, diamond coolers. Wild, wild berry, citrus with a twist. Passion punch, stirred up just right.
Taste a Diamond Wine Cooler. California white wine and natural fruit flavors in your favorite sizes.
Nothing but diamonds, diamond cooler.
Does anybody have any change? Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
This fine select beer is Christian Moorline. It is made with a quite remarkable skill, a result of years of experience, exceptional ingredients, and above all, the care, patience, and pride only a small brewery can provide. These traditional virtues mean you may pay a little more, but the price is small for the unique experience of Christian Moorline. Christian Moorline. Quite simply, a better beer.
A 23-pin lead over Doug Thomas. And some of the Hudepohl people, Bo Hudepohl?
That's correct. We have Bob Casey sitting right next to the general manager, Jim Lyles, and his wife, Sheila.
And right there is Dave Forwood with a strike in the 5th frame. That's 3 straight. Mr. Forwood.
Three straight crushers and 2 almosters in the first part of the game. Needless to say, I'll tell you what, David is playing a shot that he might be unbeatable at the, and again, I'm not going to pick a winner in a 5th frame, but He plays this what we call fallback shot as good as anybody. He plays the ball into the hook area, into the oil, and then lets it set for the rest of the 20 feet of the lane. Fantastic.
He's not lofting the ball out on the lane as much as a lot of the guys do. He's starting the ball really soon. I noticed that when he was playing.
Yeah, Bo, I'm glad you picked that up. That is essential when you're playing the fallback shot. You get the ball into a roll in the first 20 feet. Ball rolls into the oil for the middle 20 feet, and then on the back end, it's settling, but yet it's picking up the roll to cut through the pins. He's playing it to perfection.
Doug Thomas. Doug got the pins to work a little bit of overtime.
Oh, yeah. That was a fantastic shot. It doubles him up, gets him into the 90s. Right here, let's take a look at it. The ball almost cuts through and leaves the 9-pin. It'll be the back row, second one from the right-hand side of your screen. Watch the ball now. It's going to just cut by, and the neck of the, I believe it was the 6, takes out the 8.
It's getting every inch of a pin to do its work.
I mean to tell you, he's got him dancing around down there, Tom, and right now he's at 96. He's closed the gap back to that 23 that we talked about earlier. There we go.
Help again, and Doug Thomas knew it.
Cuts the deficit to 13 pins, puts the hammer right back on Dave Forwood. He's not going to get out of here. That's why I did not pick a winner, but Dave Forwood looks tough.
Dave Forwood.
Right lane. Let's see if he can play that fallback shot one more time. He did it.
You know, Dave Forwood, we were talking about 300 games before, and it's so funny. At the finals at Crossgate Lanes during the qualifying, Dave rolled a 300 back in 1981. Doug Thomas was on the same pair of lanes with him. Last week, qualifying here at Kingpin, Dave Forwood rolls 296. Guess who was on the same pair of lanes? Doug Thomas.
It was like Laurel and Hardy.
I mean, that's so
Costello.
funny. They asked me, Paris. Make sure we're on the same pair of lanes together.
These two guys complement each other. Got the ball too much into the oil, a little too soon that time, not giving the ball enough time to pick up the roll on the back end. But he's still in control. He's 33 pins in the lead right now. Doug Thomas can cut it back to 23 with a strike next frame. There's enough paper left, Bo. What do you think?
I think that both of them won it.
And of course, they received the task of trying to dethrone Greg Lothian, who Dave is on his game.
Throwing the ball as well as I've ever seen him throw the ball.
And I thought he threw it well last year. So.
Greg is maturing every year. Just unbelievable.
He was, I'm sure he didn't roll his best game last week, but it was good enough to beat Kim Herman in the battle of the crowds in week number 4 over at Delfair. Doug Thomas, 8th frame.
The deficit now 23 pins. One more gets it to 13 and really puts the pressure on Dave Forwood.
Doug Thomas knew that one. He needed it. He's rolling very well. I guess it's an advantage when you start in a house like this, Kingpin, 6 years ago, and then why not make an appearance, a television appearance? You probably feel a little more comfortable here than any place else.
Well, even going back into ancient history, 10 years ago, when the house was run by a different party, the crux of the house has always been to take care of the lanes, take care of the bowlers, and then the bowlers to take care of you. Doug Thomas taking care of the pins right now.
Dave Forwood looking at what he's going to have to do as he glances over to our fine scorekeeper, Lou Hudepohl.
Well, the deficit now been cut once more. We're looking at about 12 pin difference. Dave Forwood can still take this game to the wall and win, but unless he strikes in this frame, it's out of his hands.
He knows what he has to do. Let's see if he gets it. 10 pin, had nothing around it.
David, does Dave Forwood always stand up the line rare like that?
Yes, he does.
Does he?
It's typical to his game. If you're looking at a textbook bowler, do not look at Dave Forwood. He does a lot of things right, but he does a few things technically wrong, but he's been doing them, and we go back to this every week. I don't care what you do or how wrong it seems, but if you do it the same way every time, that's fine, because you can adjust for it.
And if it works, do it, right?
That's right. Take it to the wall. The situation is this. David Forwood, if he strikes out in the 10th, 11th, and 12th frames, would win by 1 pin. I had that calculated improperly before, but that's it. If he takes it out in 10th, 11th, and 12th, Doug Thomas, the best he can do is finish 1 pin right behind him.
See what he can do.
There's the first one.
Forwood, just to recap, beat Regina Pollard rather easily. Pollard giving her, showing a few nerves in the first appearance on the BPA. Hudepohl, King of Bowling. He beat her 244 to 154, and right now, Doug Thomas, his opponent, 5 years ago, when Thomas became the youngest bowler to ever compete on TV on the BPA King of Bowling.
David Forwood, if he's one thing, he's a statistician. He knows what he's got to do. Look at him. He started running that ball out because he knows it was a critical shot. Did not strike, therefore did not close Doug Thomas out. Doug Thomas could win the game with a double in a 10th frame.
Excitement certainly hasn't been lacking throughout the 5 weeks that we've been here, has it, Bo?
Certainly hasn't. We've had some exciting games. Our average shows at 214. I think that's, that's.
I think that speaks for itself.
It certainly does.
Dave Forwood takes it out. Now, the ball is in Thomas's court. He knows what he has to do, Dave. Forwood finishing with the 237. You want to explain what?
There you see it, ladies and gentlemen. The score tells the story. Doug Thomas needs the first 2 shots in a 10th frame to win. Let's watch.
Thomas working on a 5-bagger. Without getting into it, make it number 6.
He needs it. What does he do? He goes to what got him here to begin with. The power shot, the crank. Let's take a look at it right here. He just straps this ball for all it's worth. He hacksaws the 1 and the 5 dead left. Nothing could live through that. Now, and this is the big one. This is what it all comes down to. 3 games of qualifying, 20 games in a tournament, whatever you want to say, and 10 frames, 11 shots to this point. Nothing counts unless he throws this ball right.
I'm impressed with his poise. He's 22 years old. In front of the home folk here at Kingpin Lane.
Unbelievable! Unbelievable!
How about that?
Maximum power. I can't believe
7 straight strikes.
Let's take a look at this. This ball is out to the gutter. Look at that. Second board. And what happens? The amazing power. Watch the reaction on his face right here. Yeah. I knew it all along. Yes.
Just another day at the office, right?
Now all he has to do is keep the ball in the lane, and he's our winner. And he's done that.
So, 8. Count them, 8 straight strikes for Doug Thomas as he beats David Forwood. And ladies and gentlemen, to set it up in the championship match, we have a pair of 22-year-olds. You're looking at one of them, Doug Thomas, who wins 246 to 237. He'll take on 22-year-old, the king, Greg Lothier. All of that coming back next on Hudepohl's TV King of Bowling.